Okay. I understand, Mr. Terry, that there is a very interesting story about how you put together your very first trumpet. Will you please tell us that story?
Well, after Cy had gotten me very, very interested in the trumpet through the medium of his valves or his tuba, I decided I wanted one because we kids used to congregate around the areas where the bands were playing and listen to the rehearsals. And I decided I wanted to play the trumpet, you know, because Cy had kind of gotten me into that. And then I looked around for instruments, and my brother, he made a set of drums out of, you know, those tall bushel baskets that they used to have?
Yes.
And we turned one of them upside down. That became his drum stand. And, of course, in those days, we didn't have refrigeration, so we had ice boxes. And you would know how much ice the delivery man was going to deliver by the sign they were in there, 50, 75, 100, or 25, or no ice.
No ice. And what did you do? Where did you put the ice in the ice box?
So, well, here's what we did. There was a little thing up at the top of the ice box, and you put the ice, the chunk of, if it held 75, you'd fill that up and close it, leave it closed. And there was a little drainage area in the back, and the water melted from the ice would drip down through the back into what we called an ice pan underneath.
I see.
Yeah. So the ice pan became a beautiful one, became worn and ragged and tattered and so forth. It made a good sound, almost like a snare drum, you know. So my brother had the ingenuity to pull this ice pan out of there and put it on top of this basket, the bushel basket, and make a great drum stand. And he would swipe a couple of chair rungs out of a couple of old, you know, not too much used chairs, and they made great drumsticks. So he would brrrr with these drumsticks, you know. And one of my buddies named Charlie Jones, he found an old vacuum hose on the dump. We used to frequent the dumps and find out what we could get, you know, that we could use. And he put it in there, and he called it around an old used beer mug, beer cup, you know, those tin beer cans they used to have. And he'd go, and I would between the bucket and it sort of reminded me of Bill's band years ago that he had with Fatty Albert and
the Cosby Kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought
The Junkyard Band.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyhow, while scouring the dumps one day, I finally ran into this length of used water hose too. So I got a bright idea. That looks like something. So I took it off the dump, kind of brushed it off and washed it off a bit. And then I coiled it in the form of a trumpet. Folded this way and this way and this way. And then it left me two ends, you know. So on one end, I used an old kerosene funnel and stuck it in the end. Looked like a bell. In the other end, there was just the hose. So I found a little piece of, what do you call it? The stuff is poisonous now.
Oh, I don't know.
The brass that causes a very, very serious problem, but I wasn't even aware of it, that it was just serious.
You mean lead?
Lead,
yes,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So, put a piece of lead. I wasn't even aware that lead would cause poisoning. So between that lead thing, and then I took some, you know, they used to deliver our newspapers with a piece of wire and they threw them up on the porch. I took 3 pieces of wire from the newspaper, wrapped them around the hose in 3 points, you know, like this, and secured them. And then on each end, as for the valve tips, I would use used chewing gum.
Oh my gosh!
So it wouldn't stick in my fingers, you know. So that became my valve.
Oh my goodness! Do you still have this contraption?
No, I tried to regroup it on a couple of occasions. Once in Copenhagen, they made one, but it didn't. It looked too hip for the one that I had.
And what was the sound like? I mean, what kind of sound did you get out of this?
Horrible, Camille. As a matter of fact, there was a method to my madness, I think, later, although that's a desperation for me. I just wanted something to make some sounds out. As a matter of fact, the neighbors were so confused and disturbed and tired of this horrible horrendous sound. So they chipped in the neighborhood and bought me a trumpet from a pawn shop. They chipped in now and got collected $12.50.
$12.50 for your first real trumpet.
Got this old CG Kahn trumpet.
That is a fantastic story. My goodness, you were very determined to put together a trumpet.
The neighbors were happy, they didn't have to hear that sound anymore.
That's right.